Don't know how in focus I am. It's been a while. Hi, BookTube! This is just going to be a video kind of explaining the past 3 months and why I haven't really been active on my YouTube channel. Sorry about the wind. It's gonna be windy for a long time, so I just figured I'd just do this video and you can have that nice enjoyable sound in the background, you know, a bit of ambiance here. Anyways, I realized I haven't put up a September wrap-up. I am quite late with my October wrap-up, and I really haven't read anything this month. I've moved. My parents split up and my mom and I moved into this apartment, and my books are all over. Some are at my dad's house, some are here. It's crazy. I've been, I don't want to say like mentally unstable, but I haven't been mentally all there. So my reading has really been hit hard. I am quite active on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to follow me there, I hit the links down in the link bar down below. Yes. So, what did I read in September? I don't have any of the books here. I don't know where they are because they might be in my car, they might be at my dad's house, they might be here in a box somewhere. I don't know. But I have a list. Okay. The first book I read in September was called Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Sebastian Bach. It's a really short story, and actually what makes it really nice is that there's full page spreads, pictures of seagulls and the sea, and lots of beautiful pictures, and they're all in black and white, and I really enjoyed it. So the story is basically you're following a seagull who strives for perfection, and he kind of goes through these stages in his life of, you know, being different from the group and deciding whether to be an individual or part of the group, and then moving on to being with people who are like-minded, and learning more from people, or seagulls in this case, and then going on to become a teacher. Yes, it's a very interesting story how it progresses like that. I really enjoyed it. I read it all in one sitting because I said it's really short. It's definitely under 100 pages. Yes, so I think everyone should check that out. Maybe save it for one of the readathons so you can say, hey, yeah, you know, I read this really short book. Yeah, okay. Then I read Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. I can't believe I put that off for so long. It's a beautiful story. Everyone knows what the Wizard of Oz is about. Dorothy gets taken up in a tornado and lands in this wonderful kingdom of mythical creatures and scarecrows and tin mins and lions that talk and dance and sing. And then she's pursued by this evil witch, and the movie follows pretty closely with the book, and it's a great children's story. I look forward to reading it to my baby cousin and my children one day. It's yeah, really enjoyable. And then I read Jane Eyre, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. My brother's girlfriend already hates me for this. I really didn't like it. I didn't finish it, to be honest, because I knew the story anyways, and it was when Jane Eyre was officially engaged to Mr. Rochester that I started not liking it, because all of a sudden it was like she changed into this different character, and it was this kind of like, you know, now all of a sudden you're controlling and demanding, and oh, look at me, I'm a special snowflake, I'm different from everyone else, and Oh, I have a whole video planned about 19th century female authors and how much I honestly dislike their stories. I know people, I'm not going to go on a rant. Zip. That'll be a separate video. Yes, so I did not like Jane Eyre at all. Sorry. That was all I read in September. In October, I read Gone Girl, which I know a lot of people read in October because the movie was coming out. I blazed through that. It was the book, it was the right book at the right moment for me. I can't tell you too much about the plot without giving it away. Most people should know by now. It's about a married couple and the wife goes missing, and it's like a crime, but you see it from two different perspectives. You see it from the perspective of the victim and of the guy you think committed the murder kind of thing. And she really keeps you guessing throughout the whole thing. It's really well paced. A lot of people who just saw the movie and didn't see the book thought it was really disappointing. And I can see why, because the ending is not what you want. Gillian Flynn does not give you what you want in this book. It's, you know, these are the characters, this is how they end up, you know. It's brilliant. It's a great book. Go read it. Then I read The Rosie Project. I can't remember who it's by. I know that book's in my car. Which is down 4 flights of stairs, so it can stay there for now. The Rosie Project, I heard about it on BookTube. It's about, a lot of people say it's like a guy like Sheldon. I don't really think so. He's like a 40-something, probably has some sort of Asperger's, and he's really intelligently smart, and he's like, it's time for me to get married and settle down. And he makes up this big survey. But meanwhile, his friend introduces him to this girl named Rosie, who doesn't tick any of the boxes. But as you know, it's a love story, and I'm sure we can all predict where it ended. It was an enjoyable read. I can say nothing good or bad about it. Yeah. Then I read What I Was by Meg Rossoff, and if you go back to one of my very first videos in January, I read How I Live Now, and I can still tell you that is my favorite book of the year so far. What I Was came very, very close to tipping that off. I love Meg Rossoff's writing. It's beautiful to me, just the way she can put the words on the page is astounding, and the stories she comes up with I find are so unique. Like, they're not centered around what a lot of YA novels I find are, which, you know, is love stories, love stories, love stories, love stories, love stories. I mean, they're in there, but they're kind of awkward love stories. Okay, so What I Was is the story of a young boy in England who gets sent to a boarding school, and he's kind of like this slacker. It's the 1960s, and it's kind of on the coast, and I mean, they go for a run, and part of their class is PE, obviously. They go for a run, and he decides to sit outside the shack and kind of like slack off, and he meets this young man, and they hit it off, and they become best friends, and he goes there for holidays, but this boy is kind of off the map, off the grid. The government doesn't know he exists. He self-sustains. He goes out and he fishes, and he sells his fish in the market, and they develop this really wonderful relationship, and it's a friendship. And stuff happens, obviously. But it doesn't evolve into a romance. It's just a friendship. And I really liked that it was a beautiful story about friendship without those kind of overtones that I think a lot of people feel that they need to put into their stories. And just the way she writes, I really love it. I'm looking forward to reading more of her novels. Yes. Then I read Room, which sorry, I'm losing my voice. And then I read Room, which was amazing too, by Emma Donoghue. It's the story of a young woman and her son. The young woman was kidnapped, and I think it was like 2 years or so into her disappearance that she gives birth to a son by her kidnapper, and he keeps them in a shed that he's like soundproofed and everything in his backyard. And so this boy grows up only knowing the room, the shed that they live in. And it's astounding that she was able to write this from his perspective, from a 5-year-old's perspective, of, you know, going from believing that your mother, the man, as he calls him, and the room is all there is, to it's not really spoiler because it does happen halfway through. They escape, and then suddenly realizing that there's this whole big world out there. But it's really cool because she does all this neat stuff in it about different medical things that are happening to him because he hasn't been outside ever. He knows nothing but the room, so his brain's messed up, his skin's messed up, you know, all this stuff, you know, that you don't think about, you know, when you hear. And it's an astounding book. I really enjoyed it. So that was my past 2 reading months, and now in November, it has been a really slow month for me reading wise. I am plowing my way through The Master and the Margarita. I'm enjoying it so far, but I've been doing a lot of other things like watching TV shows, playing Animal Crossing. Oh my gosh, that game is so addicting. And just kind of lazing about and not reading. I was going to do NaNoWriMo, but mentally just things going on. I just can't concentrate. I think I'm going to start another channel for my Smashbooking. And when I do that, I'll let you guys know if you're interested. Smashbooking is like a type of journal type thing. But I want it as a separate channel because there's a lot going on there. Yeah, that's it. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. How do you get out of reading slumps? I'd really like to know, because I'm in a big one right now. And keep on reading. Hey, you might want to check out Pickle's Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, and other social media links in the description bar underneath.